Huh?
What happened here, Big Oz?
Alright, where do I start? It died on me on my way home. On a bridge in rush hour traffic. Got it started, made it home, then it just didn't start again.
What's the big words called?
CP4 disaster. Just like eats itself inside and sends metal through the fuel system. Not entirely what happened. It had symptoms of a CP4 failure, but I didn't have a computer at home, so I didn't scan it. But what I did was I popped the top off the fuel filter, and there was some metal glitter inside the fuel filter, which is one of the signs that your CP4 is starting to eat itself on the inside and put some metal into the fuel. But then I scanned it, ended up being the camshaft position sensor, checked the metering valve on the CP4. It's still clean, so I think probably caught it in time. So what we're gonna do, take out the CP4, put in the CP3, hope everything's good. Because I love this car. I don't want it just to die. It's proven to be a more robust, high pressure fuel pump. When upgraded in these cars, not completely safe from failure. They fail as well, but not nearly as common as the CP4s. You know, it's a good upgrade for this reason, but it's also a good upgrade if you're planning to do like a stage 4 or a bigger turbo and you need more fueling. The CP3 can help deliver more fuel, but it does work in a more stock configuration as well, which is gonna be on this. This is a stage 2.5. And I'm probably just gonna leave it at stage 2.5. But yeah, let's get started. Okay, so these are the parts that are gonna go in the car. Got an R70 CP3. Then I got the install kit from Cascade German. There's an adapter plate to mount the CP3 where the CP4 is. This is your hub gear adapter. So this will go on the pump, and then you can put your original gear from your CP4 onto there. Just a couple fittings for fuel lines, bolts to bolt it up, a little piece of fuel line, and pretty much all you need to do this. People ask how to install these things as well, so it'll be good for you guys to see how these get installed in a 2-liter, and yeah. Probably see all the little sparkly bits on there. It's not terrible. I'm just doing the job out of an abundance of caution. I don't want it to get to the point where it completely kills my engine. Like, it doesn't even really look bad in there. Oh my God. Right. We're back. We got the fender liner out. Got to get the belt off. Got to take the crank pulley off. Got to take the lower timing cover off. I have to put the engine bar on because I got to take the engine mount out so I can actually get the stuff. I love it when I'm hilarious.
Can you tell me a joke?
That's the thing, I don't really tell jokes.
One sec. Okay, now go ahead.
What? Just trying to get the CP4 off. Ugh. There we go. Now I'm just gonna set up this one.
What we have here is the CP4 that came out of the car. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take it apart, show you what's inside and kind of how these things tend to fail. This is gonna be a spring-loaded piston behind here. So you've got this, you know, spring-loaded plunger, pressurizes the fuel going to the rail. It has this little tappet that sits on top of it like this. And then inside the pump you have basically a little camshaft with a lobe here. And this roller runs along this lobe. So every time it comes up, it's compressing the spring and pressurizing the fuel. The only thing that lubricates this system is the diesel fuel. Unlike the gas cars where the camshaft side is run off your engine camshaft, it's always lubricated in engine oil. It solely relies on the diesel as being its lubricant. So when you get bad diesel or diesel that has water in it, it loses lubrication properties. This lobe will start wearing away on pieces in here because then you're just metal on metal with little lubrication, and then the parts eat away at each other. Sends metal debris through your whole fuel system, gets into your injectors, tank, because it goes through the return line. It just gets metal through everything. Your engine will stop working, and you have to literally replace everything in your fuel system. This one isn't bad. It did have some metal flakes in the filter, so I think I said at the beginning of the video, out of an abundance of caution, I just decided to pull it out and do a CP3 conversion. My car's got almost 300,000 kilometers on it, so I don't know how much longer this pump would have survived. Now I have a little more peace of mind knowing I have a more robust pump in there.
Here he goes.
Nitro sand. Bend the crap out of this rail or this line, and hopefully it ends up back where I just took it from. Belts on, CP3's on. Just gotta put everything back together now. All the instructions I saw online for doing this swap, it was deleted, and you could fit the hard line with minimal bending, but with this stuff all still in place, it took quite a bit of extra bending. A bit harder than I would have expected it to be, but it's in. It will work. There's a few more connections I gotta make, but that's once I put the auxiliary pump back in and everything. There's some things that aren't perfect. The way this line goes and the way this like temp sensor is, I don't know, I might play around with it to make it fit a little better. But the big thing was, because I still have these, like some people delete these like EGR components here, because I still have them, this line here that supplies from the high pressure pump to the fuel rail, it just didn't fit at all. So I had to bend it not so nicely to get it to kind of go back to where it is. I haven't even primed it yet to see if it leaks, but you know, I hope it doesn't. If it does, then I'm gonna have to fix that, but that is probably the hardest part of the entire install. Everything's all hooked up. I'm gonna get in, I'm gonna prime it a bunch because my fuel filter's empty right now. I gotta fill that up. Fuel pump's empty. There's a lot of empty space in these lines that need to get filled by priming, so we'll do that first. Deadly. Sweet, sweet. Get this thing back on the road again. Got all the way home, got all the way back here this morning. Can't really ask for more than that. I run a stage 2.5 tune on it. Pump runs exactly like it would with the CP4. Obviously you need to
switch your tune for that, which we have available at TuneZilla.com. Should I point?
Yeah. CP3 add-on.
So yeah, mine's super basic setup. If you were gonna do, you know, a stage 3 upgrade or something that requires a bit more fuel, the CP3 can handle that. We do have another video coming up. Yeah, we're getting a disaster prevention kit from Whiprip Performance, and we're gonna install it in another 2-liter TDI, a CJAA. So it's kind of two ways to battle the failure on these CP4s. Disaster prevention kit or upgrade to a CP3. Guess we'll find out in the next episode of TuneZilla.